Today we're going to take you through prepping a chicken. So all the chicken we use in Ambiente and the Press Kitchen is all free range. Two reasons for this. Obviously high welfare animals is what we're all about, everything we get is high welfare, but it's also a better product. We have to do less with it and you get better yield from each animal. Rather than just using breast meat, thigh meat, different cuts, a lot of people just use thigh because it's cheaper. We use the whole bird and it means we've got the carcass for stock, got the legs, the wings, everything gets used, so there's no wastage whatsoever from the animal. So what we're going to take you through is just breaking it down. So what you start with is you want to take off the legs. Best way of doing this is like Rich just showed you, just popping it back to dislocate it and then just cutting through. You'll get two nice, obviously cuts. What you want to make sure you don't do is damage the breast in any way, so you're keeping that knife nice and tucked in. And when you come around the back, there's a lovely little bit of meat just tucked on the back here. And you just want to make sure you get right round and pull it out like that.
The oyster.
That means you're leaving no meat on the bone. Obviously, as little wastage as possible. Then you want to be taking off the wings. Again, make a little incision in, see where it shows you the knuckle, follow it round and remove. Do that on both sides, and then all you're left with is the full breast and the carcass. So once you've made that incision and took them off, all you're going to do then is find a little bone that runs down the middle. Just find that, and then you're just going to cut as tight as you can down each side. Follow the bone line. You'll hit the bottom, you'll reach the bone. Slightly angle the blade and pull it nice long strokes along the bone. This means you're leaving as little chicken as possible on the actual carcass, and you're getting real nice, presentable breasts off there. So that's one side, you'll do the other. Just at the very front down here as well is where the wishbone is. So you just need to make sure you work around that as well. So again, turn it around. Again, the knife's always well away from your fingers, and nice long cuts again to come down the other side. What you're left with then is obviously just the carcass, as Rich will show you. There's very little meat left on there. Okay, so all we're going to do with that later is make a nice stock out of it. There'll be no wastage on that. Obviously, the breast wise, all we want to do there is we take the skin off. You can either serve these whole, leave the skin on, but we dice them down because we'll show you later. One of our recipes is a chicken kebab, and the best way is to use dice because you get all the flavour of the marinade into the chicken. So you just take the skin off, again reserving all that because that will go into our stocks, and then he'll dice them down. Once we've done that, we'll move on to the legs and the wings. Okay, with these we're going to debone them because again we want to dice them down and mix that through the breast meat to make our chicken marinade, keeping the bones and everything for the stocks. Again, if you're a home cook, this is the best way you can buy chicken. Breasts in a supermarket, free range, 2 breasts, £6. You can get a full free range chicken for £5. Now, this is, if you're cooking at home, anything like that, one of these, just look at how much yield we're getting out of just one bird. You can make your own stock, and then you've got several different meals you can get out of this. So any students out there, anything like that, this is your perfect way to buy meat. So Rich is just going to show you how the best way to debone a leg is.
So there's a clear visible line of fat through the skin, and through the back you can see it here if you just move the skin along. The visible line of fat, that is the knuckle joint, so it's the cap and the knuckle. If you can just find that, you should cut straight through, and you're not actually cutting through bone, you're just cutting through the cartilage together, and that's the best way to joint the chicken. Again, this for a family of 4 is ample for a curry, and then in a second you've got another dish, so you can get 2 dinners out of 1 bird. So again, you're pretty much half the price from buying a pre-prepared, pre-packaged bird from places like the supermarkets. You can also, if you have a local butcher, get your butcher to do this for you, but then he might charge you extra as well. So best is just to practice and get used to doing it yourself. So this is the thigh. So again, that was where the skin was. We've removed the skin, and then running down through the middle is the bone. There is a visible line of fat along the bone. If we just take 1 incision just to the left hand side, now what we're doing is we're starting to relieve that bone. We're just going to slip the knife underneath the knuckle and then repeat again on the other side. Again, keeping my fingers either side, so I'm keeping pressure on the bone, but also the knife well away from my fingers, so I'm not going to get hurt. Now I've relieved underneath the bone, stick the knife through and underneath. That way you can now get access to the back of the bone. And again, just small strokes, just like we did with the chicken breast, just to get around the bottom. Once you've got to the bottom of the bone, again, reserve that for stock, and there you've got a completely deboned chicken thigh.
Again, your chicken thigh is the ideal cut to be using in slow cooked chicken. Obviously there's a bit more fat content, so things like curries are ideal. Seal it off first, so you trap the flavour in, and stew it out, and it just gives a lot more flavour than what the breast will. And that's why we mix these two meats together, so you get the best of both.
Now, again, there's a slow way and a fast way. What I'm going to show you now is the fast way, because again, in a domestic environment, you want to do things quickly, and it goes along with professional. Just pull the skin back on the leg till it reaches the knuckle at the bottom. Once you've got that, there is the small part to the drumstick and then the back. Pinch the small part, run your knife through and up to the top of the bone, and again repeat the process, keeping the knife underneath your arm so that you can't hurt yourself. Again, now all you've done is relieve the bone. Same as on the thigh, put your knife underneath the bone, flip it over and repeat. This way does leave a small amount of meat on the bone, but it's fast, and also we're going to be using this for chicken stock, so we're still going to get flavour and use out of that. Dice these up and then repeat.
As you can see, Rich has done this quite a few times before, because all our chickens come in whole at Ambiente, so this isn't the first time he's done it. It will take you a little bit longer, but once you get used to it, you'll soon be doing it. And like we say, it's for the amount of time it actually takes you, it's well worthwhile doing. And what we'll do later is we'll show you one of our recipes. It is a green chicken, which is just a lovely chicken marinated in herbs. Again, ideal for just doing at home, quick, easy, healthy meal. And this meal will show you make your own flatbreads, everything like that. So feeding a family at home, it's ideal and relatively cheap and quick as well. Okay, so that's how to prep a chicken.